So with my Focus RS edition, I'm super interested to compare this to the Focus ST Mark 4.5 facelift track pack, because that's kind of like as RS-y as you're going to get today. It's a gorgeous sunny day. Let's take this for a drive. Obviously I know this car quite well. I've done about 2,000 miles in the car. I've done a lot of miles in the Mark 4.5 facelift, but I have yet to drive the track pack. So that's going to be the real interesting thing as of this point. Just to see what it's like to drive, and see if it can kind of, I don't know, have a little bit of an RS into it. I love my RS edition. It's looking, I mean, hopefully it's coming up quite nicely on the camera. Yeah, so let's go for a bit of a drive in this and see what it's like. But just to show you a little bit, if you're not familiar, yeah, so this is the Mark 3 generation of the Ford Focus RS. It's got four-wheel drive. From stock they have 350 horsepower. My car has a little bit more, but for the purposes of this we'll pretend it's just a stock car. The Mark 4.5 facelift has about 280 horsepower, so power wise is interesting. Obviously front wheel drive, but it's that suspension that's interesting, the KW springs. That's going to be so exciting to see what it's like. Big stopping power as well with the discs. Lightweight forged wheels. The track pack, you do get special lightweight wheels as well, so whether or not that makes a difference we'll have to see. Black roof, you get a few gloss black parts on the track pack as well. My car has a gloss black roof, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it's looking pretty good. Inside, this is where things are different. The Mark 4.5 facelift has really upped the game. Mine's got proper full shell Recaros, so they're full buckets. Manual gearbox, both have a 6-speed. Mark 3 generation, so you get Mark 3 related bits. But it's a 5-door, it's practical. Little bit less space in the boot because it's 4-wheel drive. In fact, I can bring you into that just to give you an idea. Yeah, what you lose in the boot, as you can see my filming bag, a little Revo, you just lose a little bit of underfloor, so it's quite compact. Both cars have dual exhausts as well. So mine has these two tips. Can you see them in the sun? There they are. And then you get the RS badge. Iconic RS badge. But let's take this for a short little drive and then compare it to the track pack. That's going to be really exciting. So let's fire her up. My car is a little bit louder than a stock RS. A stock Mark 3 RS would be slightly quieter. But what happened in basically when this car finished production, with my car being a 2018 car, a lot of laws and regulations kind of came into play, and basically that softened the noise. It brought in something called OPF filters, which are just in the exhausts. It's like wearing a mask over your face. That's what it did. So my car does sound a little bit louder, although the Mark 4.5 facelift Focus ST did sound really, really good from my sort of perspective. And just from what it was, I drove a 2022 car, so whether or not the track pack will add a little bit more, we'll have to see. My car has a Miltech exhaust, so it's a little bit louder. But yeah, I'm obviously really familiar with this car. So just to kind of give you an idea of how my kind of feelings with this, it is a firm car, it's an exciting car. It has adjustable suspension as well, but you can actually adjust that on the move. Whereas with the track pack, I believe you actually have to get properly underneath the car and sort of fiddle around with it. So that can be sort of like, I suppose, a negative for some, potentially. I think one of the biggest things is going to be the four-wheel drive in this. It doesn't ever lose power. It just puts its power down all the time. I think the Focus ST has a nice little balance again, but then we're just gonna have to see what it's like in sort of like the comparison. But for me, this feels very special, and it's a very nice car to own. My dream car that I own, I must say. And on a gorgeous sunny day, I bet it's looking good in the sun, as you've just seen from my little walk around. Yeah, how can I kind of think about this, what the track pack's going to be like, without obviously have driven it yet? I'm fascinated, really fascinated to see and to hear about it, particularly at this early stage, April 2023. It's, you know, there's not many around. So that's going to be exciting. Oh, I love this car. As you know from my channel, I've got so much content, well, yeah, in the last, since I've owned the car since January. It's a great place to be. I'll pop it into sport mode just because it just makes things a little bit tighter. I think the modes can make a big difference in a car. Yeah, as you can see, I'm bobbling up around, and this is in its softest suspension setting. Really interested to see if that KW coilovers, it makes the car not as usable as you would want as a daily, or I don't know, maybe it'll bring that right balance to it. Interested to hear the owner's thoughts as well. Yeah, so it's certainly got the smile factor, it's got the fast forward kind of factor. Yeah, I'm smiling all the way. Plenty of power, plenty of grip with the four-wheel drive. Still focus practicality, it is still a 5-door. I mentioned the boot was a little bit shallower, but realistically, it's not the end of the world for most people with this kind of car, I suppose. So I'll whack it into second. Oh man, I've got this van in front of me. There's no way he can take the corners as well as this, and that's the thing with suspension. It makes you drive the car flat. That's the biggest thing. So I'm happy that I haven't driven the Focus ST track pack yet, because it means that I'm kind of like, ooh, what's this going to be like? But I'm certainly not like lacking any grip or any fun factor or anything. So can it be more fun than this? I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, I already know the car's quite practical and quite usable just from in standard non-track pack form. So yeah, has it bridged the gap? Are we looking at a track pack which is technically a Focus RS? Maybe? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's go around this track pack. And yeah, let's give this a comparison between this car. Yeah, super looking forward to this, and interested, yeah, to see what you guys think as well from my reaction from it all, because this is very much as is, you know. I like the emotional kind of connection with cars, and with fast forwards, there's a lot to it. Let's go over the track pack, and yeah, let's just go from there. So yeah, first of all, in black, the first thing I noticed is you've got it's sort of like smoked front lights. Now this is something that I don't think was actually even mentioned, but it's definitely smoked 100%. It's got that sort of like stealth look to it, and I love it in black, and it's like a pearlescent black as well, which looks so nice in the sun. Another part, you get the black ST badge here. So again, trying to sort of get that sort of gloss black feel. You get gloss black sort of on the front bumper in certain areas where it would normally be sort of like almost grey plastic. Same with the grille. So hard to tell completely on camera because it's a black car, but you take my word for it, and it does look really, really great. You've got bits to cool the brakes there. That's cool. Now this is the big part for me, the wheels. Now you get 10% bigger disc brakes, so these are 363mm discs. They are huge. Bear in mind this is a 19-inch wheel, huge caliper. When I drove the standard non-track pack car, the one thing I loved was the brakes. So the fact that you've got even more surface to actually stop it, it's only going to improve things. Yeah, huge stopping power, really, really great. And to give you an idea of how big those discs are, here's my RS, and you can see they're I don't know, maybe about the same size, if not a little bit bigger on this compared to the RS. You get the gloss black wheels. Now these are lighter weight as well, so that's going to make a huge difference with unsprung weight. So that's really, really cool. Red ST badge there, and it comes up so nice. And these are obviously some of the main parts of the whole track pack. Now tyres, a lot of people don't necessarily kind of think too much of tyres and think like, oh yeah, just whatever's on there, but Ford have thought this through and they really have kind of, yeah, gone all out on the track pack, which is why I think it's such a cool thing to actually go for. They've got Pirelli P0 Corsas, and you can see it there, P0 Corsa, but it also has a little FP badge there, and you can literally see they are basically, I would put them on the same mark as like Pilot Sport Cup 2s from Michelin, almost on that kind of like slick tyre kind of thing, mainly for the sunny weather like we've got today. So that specific, you know, the FP means that it's basically been designed specifically for this car. So it's all been sort of worked in conjunction. They have thought this through. This car would have gone around the Nürburgring loads. It would have had loads of testing to get it to that kind of point. So that's another huge part of just the track pack. You can essentially play with the dampers sort of on the suspension, and that just changes the whole sort of complete ethos of the car. You can even see it there. Can you see that? Looks so cool. I don't think you can really see it as much on the front because all you see is giant disc. But that can be adjusted, and you have like a little toolkit which comes in the boot, which you can play around with. Basically make it nice and firm. You can make it a little bit softer as well. But yeah, that has to be done. Believe you might have to get it on a ramp, or you might be able to get yourself underneath there with your little toolkit, play around with like the rebound settings, and that's pretty cool to do. And will it bring it more in line with, say, like my RS from the Mark III generation? We'll have to see, we'll have to find out. It's so cool to have it here. But briefly we'll check inside, because it won't take too long, because there is no difference inside to this car to a normal Mark 4.5 facelift ST. The seats are brilliant. The Ford Performance seats replaced the Recaros. Absolutely really nice. Wheels great. It's a cool car. It's spacious, tinted windows, so it's a little bit darker in the back, and you get the huge screen. 1,200 miles this owner's done in literally a few weeks. He's only had it literally in April, so massive thank you for coming down. Now we want to know a little bit more about the gear shifter, because again, not really mentioned, but believe the ratios, or it's a little bit more of a short shifter. We'll have to find out. Let's take this one for a drive and let's see what this is like, because yeah, super looking forward to this. So in the track pack for a drive, let's start her up. Right, first, I love the noise. That's the really big thing, because I know so many cars are getting quieter and quieter, but Ford have really nailed this one. Having just come out of my RS, I'll be able to know. It's just early on, it's like, oh, it definitely feels a lot more planted to the road. Yeah, oh, that feels so much better. Like that's within like, because I really have spent so much time in the standard Focus ST. I'm probably one of the only real people that is just a normal guy who can kind of see what it's like. Doesn't feel uncomfortable, but we're on quite slow roads. And you've obviously got the Corsa tyres as well, Pirelli P0 Corsas, which are very sticky. Let's see. Gearbox feels a little bit different, yeah. It feels a little bit shorter. And you get auto rev matching in this as well, don't you? Yeah, so that's really helpful, and that will really help protect the clutch. Oh wow, the brakes. Yeah, the brakes are really sharp. Wow, that is like, I haven't even tried emergency stopping yet. It feels like it's got so much. Oh, it's good on the gearbox. Sometimes you even brake too early. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. You've got like, you don't realise how like much braking power there is. Yeah, it's got like so much life in it, and I guess that's why it is the track pack. You can, and it pulls really well. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Because I've driven one stock and I've driven one with a slight tune on it. It seems to really pull. Yeah, it might
lighter as well. There's also that one, so it's a lot lighter.
That is the thing. So lightweight wheels definitely save some. I'm pretty confident the suspension is probably going to be a little bit lighter as well. And
also the glass roof adds on a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So you take that off, you've got a lightweight roof.
And that's the only one that I've driven with the glass, the top roof. And the fact that maybe because it's so much more planted and stuck to the road, it can stick its power down. I mean, like, there's no traction issues.
I do feel like the tyres are doing quite well as well. That they're not spinning as much as I was expecting them to spin. They seem to be really gripping.
They definitely feel like you can lean on them. It's got launch control as well, but I mean, we'll save that. I have done it. It hooks up well. Right, we've got a car behind us now. Yeah, see, even for these bits, I like third as like my sort of like setting in gear.
Yeah.
So I took this. I'm gonna take it as fast as I can on my RS. Yeah, so that is. Because I was checking the speed on that one, I took that at 53. And that was exactly what I took it in the RS, which is four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It's... we have to get past that. Yeah, you see the brakes. Yeah, the brakes are just like... the brakes, yeah, I mean,
they're so sharp.
Really good. Yeah, the big things, the tyres, the brakes, the suspension, it all adds up to a really, really good package. And they've done something in the mode as well with racetrack mode, just to dial it in and make it really enjoyable. Like, there's nothing like, I said it before on the previous one, it's like this feels like a much more fun car. And now it's still fun, but now it's really capable. Whereas I always feel like with going to my RS, it feels more on the capable kind of sides. But it's a really great car, and I think they've done something which is will make Ford performance and enthusiasts really happy, really happy. It certainly makes me happy, and my expectations are sort of like more than what I expected. I think it's made that much of a difference. Yeah, I would, if I was looking to get this car, I would really only look for the track pack, but that's just for me. I'd be really happy to kind of own that car, and that's the best thing that I can kind of recommend to people. I think as a fast Ford fan, I think that's the last. That might be the last RS, but I think that's the last great petrol-powered hot hatch Ford ever gonna make, and I think it's worthy of it. I think it's worthy of it. I think they've done a great job. I think engineers have really thought about it. I put it this way, I would be happy to have that car as like a weekend blast and use it every day. Whereas that, I'm happy to have it as a weekend blast, but I don't think I could use it every day. So that's the real thing. That's where the RS sort of changes it. But I actually found myself having just as much fun in that, if not a little bit more, particularly with the front wheel drive sort of aspect. Is it worthy of an RS badge? It's not far off. I don't think you'd be disappointed in sort of having one. And I'm so fortunate to have, access to both these cars and to being able to sort of try them out and to sort of share them. See you later.